Hello,
Oh
hello,
yeah, man.
hello. Welcome to the podcast.
We're
I think
here.
it's just I think it's just me and you tonight. How'd
Yeah,
that
I just
happen?
got a text from Johnny with Z's saying he's sleeping.
Oh, he was asleep. We're all backstage waiting for him, and he wasn't anywhere to be found. So we're like, you know
Yeah,
what? We're going live without him. What are you gonna do? You gonna
right.
stop us? Are you gonna stop me? Am I gonna stop you?
Can't be stopped.
No, not gonna. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm trying to get work done. I finished my Yogg's book 2, and
Hi.
but my normal camera uh doesn't work. It keeps shutting off. So I'm using my iPad. So you get me from a different angle today.
Ooh, I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
it's kind of good, right?
Yeah,
The
it's
Skoke is
working.
here.
Hello
Skoke,
there.
Skoke
Hello
showed up.
there. I,
Now,
I didn't.
which feed did you join, Skoke?
I'm confused. I'm not sure. I think this is the right place. This is not Conan O'Brien's podcast.
No, this is
Okay.
the Oh Yeah podcast, but not the one that was set up to go. That one was set up to go by Johnny, but apparently, I think he's asleep. So,
He's asleep. He's asleep.
Johnny's asleep. Johnny's asleep.
so it's just us. It's just us, me,
Yeah, that's all
you,
right.
and the other guy
We're making it work.
It's gonna be
making it
good. I
work.
tell you.
This
Yeah.
is a theme for us in that we are going to be trying to pod more. So this is our commitment to podding more. This is it. Me, you, us together. We have some stuff. I'm in charge tonight, so it's D Brad. How you doing, D Brad?
See, Brad is here.
Yeah. Follow us, like us. If you're on the Facebook, make sure that you give them permission so that we know who you are if we put your comments up. We're going to be talking about some stuff. We haven't. How is everybody, by the way? We doing good?
Good.
Skoke, you doing all
I'm
right?
trying to figure out how to make you guys louder.
Oh.
I was just boiling some chicken. I was afraid I was going to be late.
I
That's
saw
a true
that on the
story.
text. You're just boiling chicken. Are you making
I-
soup or are you just boiling chicken?
I'm just boiling chicken. I'm trying something new. My toaster oven broke, and normally I'd make the chicken in there, but it broke. So I got a big pot, and I'm learning how to boil chicken. It's surprisingly easy, but tasteless.
Yeah, you
Yes.
boil all the flavor out, right?
Yeah, it tastes. It looks. Oh, it's horrifying.
Bland.
It's
Yeah.
all gray.
Yeah.
I got to
And it's
figure
soft.
something out there. Yeah, I got a little work to do, but it's a
All right.
start.
You need to call me on off hours. And, I worked in a restaurant for years and years and years. So you got to call me and I'll tell you what to do.
There
Yeah,
we
Franco
go.
knows.
Yeah.
My wife is cooking up some meat and some mole right now.
Ooh,
House
mole,
smells
mole,
real
mole.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Skoke, you
You-
look like Blue's Clues today.
Oh, as
Yeah.
a matter of fact, I'm wearing the official Blues Clues shirt. This is the one that Steve from Blues Clues wears. And I'm wearing it because it was my nephew's birthday recently, and he had a Blues Clues themed party. So I wore this to that. And I thought, in his honor, I will wear it this evening.
Oh yeah.
Did you steal that from Steve out of his dressing room?
Yeah. Like somewhere right now, he's walking around without a shirt. Yeah.
So he's balding and does he have chest hair? Do you know? Because you stole his shirt, so you'd know. Yes, Anthony, I think it is episode number 4568, though.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I see somebody says, I do not like pink chicken. Keep cooking it. Oh, yeah.
Don't eat the pink chicken. It's
Yeah, I
not
like it a little pink on the inside,
no.
Gives it a little flavor, right? No?
Yeah, no.
It'll be more of an adventure,
That's true.
Give
That
it-
is-
gotta give it.
For sure. That wasn't the only food mishap I've had this week. I also spilled prune juice all over my desk, and it went into my computer. And it was my work computer too.
So now your computer's going to be shitting at them. I mean, going more often.
You would think so, but the opposite actually ended up happening. It just stopped working. So,
Ooh.
I had to report it, and I had to go. I talked to the IT guy, and thankfully he was able to swap it out and get me a new thing in the Apple store. They're going to try and fix it. Apparently, I don't know how, but It's under warranty, so everything's okay. But one thing the IT guy did say to me was he said, you could have just said you spilled, but you're telling everybody it was prune juice.
juice,
Was that
yeah.
necessary?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, here's the thing. I felt like it's part of my penance as a punishment in a way for spilling. I do something, I spill all over an expensive piece of equipment. I deserve to, I have to say what it was. That's part of the price I'm paying here. So yeah, everywhere. When I filled out, you had to fill out a trouble ticket and put the details in about what's the problem. And I titled it Prune Juice Disaster.
So
But,
you think if you spilled apple juice, you would get better service at the Apple store?
I bet I would. It would be faster because today was the first day they could look at it after a week.
Do you think you have a case for HR about them questioning you about your health habits and or health wise, because you're drinking the prune juice for a specific reason, and this guy's prune juice shaming you? So I don't know if I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that either.
Like,
I think you have a case. I think you have a point.
Johnny's here.
He's
Man,
upside
why am I
down.
dizzy?
I don't,
there he is.
He's
I like
upside
that.
down.
Like a
What the hell's
marsupial.
going on?
I don't think you're fully awake, Johnny, because you're upside down.
I know I'm gonna. Whoa, whoa. Can you email me the link? I never know how to do it from text.
I could.
But you're on
Will-
here
but
already.
the question is, will you?
I don't know if I want to at this point.
Wow.
I think it's funnier this
This is
way.
pretty
All
good.
right, I'll be upside down.
I think we're gonna leave you this way. I like it.
Bizarro Yoko.
I feel like that Sesame Street thing or the electrical. Which one of these things doesn't belong?
I'm sorry, Facebook user. Johnny and Franco are not one person. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it this way,
All
Johnny.
right.
It's funny.
And it
Yeah, I
makes
like
it even better. He has a little volume to his hair, so it looks like the hair is
Yeah, it's
gravity
sticky.
is.
Yeah.
I like it, and the light's not shining directly behind him when he's upside down as a vampire bat. I like
Who's
that.
I can't. Oh, it's Airplane. Lloyd Bridges when he sniffs glue.
He's sniffing the
And
glue,
he's
right?
upside down
Upside
and he turns around.
You know,
Looks like I spent the wrong day. Skipped the wrong day sniffing glue. Whatever the hell. He said. All right, no problem.
I like
I'll be
this,
upside
Johnny.
down. All right.
You know, I think I got a problem with all of you guys, and I brought this up in a text that I have grievances with everyone. And I don't know if you guys heard about this. Did you hear about this podcast that was charging guests to be on?
Wow.
By my calculation, you guys owe me a lot of money if this is something that's happening.
Hey,
How much?
excuse me. I was doing it 5 years before we started doing it. I think you guys all owe me a lot of money.
Well, how much were they charging him?
I think they were charging like $50 to be on the episode or
No,
something like
30.
Really?
30.
30.
Yeah.
Oh,
But still, yeah. And I'll even say, because I was teasing him about it today, Paul Kupperberg, the great Bronze Age and obviously still current writer, DC, so many great comics and stuff. And somebody invited him on. He's like, okay. And he goes, I didn't read the fine print. And then he goes, they expected $30. So he's like, I don't think that's how it works. The writer gets paid, not the reader.
yeah.
And he goes, and they got a response back that they were mad. They're like, how dare you? This is how we do business.
That's not dinner. That's not a podcast.
No, listen, according to Anthony, this is episode number 4,567. So if you do some math and multiply that by 30 times however many guests are on the show, yeah, you guys owe me some money. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
So fork
Yeah,
it up.
we're gonna have to owe you. Or do you take prune juice?
No,
Okay.
no, not from you, because apparently you spill it everywhere.
Yeah.
Smoke will be happy to send you copies of how to apply, butt paste properly to help you poop better.
I'd be
Whatever that
happy.
book was.
Sure. I'd be happy to read it to you live if you like.
No thanks.
Johnny, before you came on, I was just explaining how I accidentally spilled prune juice all over my computer this week.
Ooh.
And it's an expensive disaster, but thankfully it was under warranty. Things are going to be fine, but it's embarrassing enough when you spill, but I don't know. I just felt like it was part of the deal. Like part of my punishment is I have to tell everybody it was prune juice. So I told everybody. I told them all.
What do you?
Like, how long have you been drinking prune juice?
I'll tell you what. I have
Did you
I have a
just
half a glass a day. I've been doing
Wait.
this.
Did you do it regularly?
I get it.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
No.
Keep going.
I'm going to answer that. Yes. I'd say for probably about the past 6 months, every day, I half a glass, and then I mix the other half with water because I tell you what, if it's too much prune juice, that's a problem.
Oh, sure.
And I can
Works
say
too
that from
well.
experience. Yeah, you don't want it to work too well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just ask your computer.
Yeah.
My,
It's,
Does it taste good?
it's good. It's actually good. I like the taste of it. Yeah.
Never
It's
had
pretty good.
prune juice.
Yeah.
My aunt used to always keep a full bottle, and if I ever had a bad stomach, she's like, "There's prune juice in the fridge." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "Let's leave it there." That's all right.
Did I ever tell you guys about the worker at my aunt's restaurant who ate the beets? Did I tell you
No.
about this?
No.
So my aunt had a restaurant. Well, we had different restaurants, and my aunt and uncle had a restaurant, and I would work there on the weekends and stuff like that. And she also had a garden, and in this garden she would make grow many things, and one year she had a bumper crop of beets, and she brought them into the restaurant to pickle them and stuff like that. And when you're an Italian family, nothing goes to waste. You grow the stuff, you save the stuff, you pickle it, you can it, whatever. So there was this person, and I forget where he was from. He was from Central America. I forget exactly what country, but he had never seen beets before. He's like, "What are these?" She goes, "Oh, these are beets. I grew them, and would you like some?" And he said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, we have plenty. Have as much as you like." So
plenty.
yeah. So the next day he didn't show up for work, and and my aunt was a little concerned, because usually he calls or something, and he didn't call. And he showed up later that night, and my aunt was like a little annoyed, like, "Why didn't you come to work? What happened? Are you okay? Everything's okay?" He goes, "Well, I wound up in the hospital." She goes, What happened?" He goes, "Well, I was feeling not very good, and I was running to the bathroom every 2 minutes, and I thought I was dying because everything came out red." And the doctor
Ooh.
said, "Well, did you are you feeling this or that?" Trying to rule things out. And then finally asked him, did you eat anything out of the ordinary?" And he goes, "Well, I had some beets, And he goes, "Okay, well that wouldn't do this, because he was like constant flow, shall we say." And he said, "Well, how many did you eat?" He said, "I had 8 bowls of beets."
Oh my God!
So if you want the effects of prune juice on a big scale, eat
Bradley
eight
beets?
bowls of beets. Yeah, because
Wow.
that'll do it to you.
I do know beet juice is a good weight loss thing.
Yeah, he
I
said he
just-
lost a whole bunch of weight.
Yeah,
that
well,
day.
exactly. I guess that's how.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never. I can't. I literally I can't tolerate. I figured, all right, I'm an adult now. I hated beets as a kid, and I'm like, all right, maybe I can handle beets now. No, still hate them.
I like
Not good.
beets. I just don't like 8 bowls
8
of
bowls.
beets.
Every box of Super Beets contains 8 bowls of beets. Just like that commercial
said
they used to do for Super Beets.
She did say have as many as you want, and he took her up on
Took
it. He's
full
like, "Wow,
advantage. Exactly.
these are really good." And then he said,
That's awesome.
I was dying. I couldn't leave the bathroom, and I everything was red, and I thought I was bleeding, and I was
Yeah,
dying.
it was
So
red.
we went to the hospital, and the doctor's like, "Just go home. You're fine. Just go home."
Well, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Enjoy your dinner, everybody.
There you go. Yeah. So now I've told you the beet story. So your
Outstanding.
next Apple IT ticket, Skoke, is going to be broken computer due to beets.
Sorry. Too many beats.
Too many beets.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I think we lost Artie. Something happened to Artie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Already went dark. I don't know.
I like this podcast. Johnny's upside down, Dark Artie. Everything's good.
Dark Artie. Darty, if you will.
Mm.
That's
Franco,
there he is. He's
there he
back.
is.
I'm
Franco,
still
you
here.
were asking all of us how we're doing. How are you doing? What's going on with you?
I'm doing I8. Doing good. Things are good. Yeah. Everything's good. I have some new books. It's a good time to talk about it. I have some new books. Super fun altogether.
Oh,
You should buy it from my website, blindwoolstudios.com. And introducing now for the first time, Fox and Evil #1. I got Fox and Evil #1.
Wow.
So you can buy these on my website, blindwoolstudios.com. Yeah. D-Bread feels he needs to turn his phone upside down to give Johnny a break. All the blood rushing to his head. Oh, that's true.
Hey, no. I thought I was right side up for a second.
Doesn't Apple
Whatever.
own the Beats headphone company? B-Thing says. Yes. See?
It's better.
That would be perfect.
yeah, that would be fitting.
No, now I'm on my side. Now I'm lying down.
For those of you listening at home, Johnny is now sideways instead of upside down. By the end of the show, he may be right side up, and Artie's gone altogether.
You're already gone. Yeah.
Oh man, jeez Louise. Yeah, so I'm doing good. I'm just working, busy, doing stuff, doing a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, there he goes.
There he is.
There he is.
He's
I'm
back.
just trying to figure out.
Ah.
I could barely hear you guys, so
Oh,
I might
maybe
get some
headphones
of
will
the
help
stories.
you. You got headphones for your iPad? Maybe that'll help.
I don't know how to put it in there. I can't find a hole.
All right,
Hmm.
I'll be widescreen in a second.
I don't know.
Thank you, Skoke, for sending me the link. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Franco, does your live sale coming up have shipping or just pickup? So I already did the live sale, Kevin, and it has shipping, and everything is on my Big Cartel site. So if you go on my website, blindwoolstudios.com, and follow the link tree, you can go to my Big Cartel site. There's bundles of books up that are only up there for about another week or so before I take them down, and then it's only going to be back to artwork. So you can check everything out on blindwoolstudios.bigcartel.com. I feel like everything's a commercial for me today, so it's good. Things are all good.
If I may also add,
Absolutely.
another recent book of yours was the library. Help me out. Titans Go to the
Teen Titans
Library.
Go to the Library. Yes. Oh, I have that here too. Here, this is out now too. You should go get Teen Titans Go to the Library. It's with me and my buddy down there, Artie. He worked on it, so he can't hear anything right now, but he worked on this book too. You should pick him up
Yeah.
with Agnes Garbowska and some colors by Zach Atkinson. He did the colors on the cover. And speaking of Zach Atkinson, he's colorist on Fox and Evil. So you should look it up.
Oh,
All good things. All good things.
fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there he
I can
is.
hear you guys now.
There we go.
Yeah. See, there we are.
You found the hole.
Mm-hmm. There it is. So good. Oh, Johnny made it! Yay!
He's
Johnny's
right side up.
For those of you listening at home.
So I'm listening. I'm on here on the iPad, and I'm listening through YouTube.
Oh, awesome! So you're on a delay. That's great. I love it.
Are you on a delay already? Is that the problem?
Yeah, this is not working now. Because I can hear everything twice.
I was gonna say this gonna work out really well. Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of it.
I love it. It's great.
I wanted to be able to see comments, and I can't. I couldn't see them when I was upside down because it was on my iPhone, and it's like too small.
I'm sorry.
All right. No, it's my fault. I overslept.
I love when stuff like this happens.
You overslept. I was busy boiling chicken. This is we're doing great.
Look at this. It looks like Skoke has been on a desert island for like 6 months or something. Skoke's doing a road show of Castaway, apparently.
Been on Blue's Clues Island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it?
Wilson! I love it.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Listen, it's a new year, new beginnings, and I know we do these things so often, but I figure since it was a new year and we haven't been on as much to do the New Year stuff in the new year, but we've had a January already. We're into February, and some cool things have already happened. But I wanted to find out from you guys or see if you have any top 2024 predictions of things that are going to happen. I made a list of stuff as well, but like, you know, I want to see if you guys had anything that you were looking forward to or you think might happen in 2024, and we can discuss if that's cool with you guys.
I'm kind of curious to hear that list, and maybe we can add to that.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be something to do with Stan Lee this year, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're past his centennial. We had 100 years. I don't know.
So, well, just to ask, is it like something to do with regular Stan or flat Stan? Which
Oh, the
Yeah,
real
yeah,
one.
go
The
for it.
real guy.
Flat Stanley.
Flat
Huh?
Stan Lee.
In what way? When you make these prognostications, these predictions, you gotta say what it is.
Oh,
So you can't just say you think. You got to say what you think it's going to be.
Yeah, Nostradamus. What are you doing? That's not how.
there's going to be a relative who somebody we know is going to take a DNA test and realize that they're the spawn of Stan Lee. There's a long lost child he never had that he didn't know he had.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
you?
what's going to happen. And they're going to create another character and add him to the Fantastic Four, and it's going to be called the Fantastic Five. That's what's going to happen.
Didn't they already do that
2024.
in a What If though? They did that
Yes,
in a
they
What
did
If.
the first What If. That's right.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was in the Fantastic Five.
Yeah, they had fives on their shirts.
It was a redo of Spider-Man issue 1, where he tried to join and they rejected him. They
Oh.
rebuffed him.
I didn't know. I don't think I've ever read that one.
Curly Joe. Oh no. It's what's his name? It's not Curly Joe, but that's. By the way, Anthony, I love Anthony's avatar. Good.
Yeah.
You're
So
already getting better, Anthony.
Anthony says his 2024 prediction is Curly Joe will headline San Diego Comic-Con's guest list.
What's that guy's name? It's not Curly Joe, Mike.
I
What's his
doubt
name?
that's going to happen, but
Joe
Curly-
Dorita?
No,
Joe
Curly's grandson. I'm sure that's
Oh.
who it is.
Curly G. His real name is
Curly G.
Yeah. Brad Server is his real name.
Brad.
G.
Hi, I'm Brad Sever. I'll be your insurance agent, and I'm the grandson of Curly. Well, that gives me no confidence in this policy whatsoever. I got to be honest with you.
If I could quickly answer Anthony's question.
Yeah.
He was asking about my library stacks. What have I found lately? Well, I stepped away for a second so I could show you. This is the Britney Spears book I'm holding up. It's called The Woman in Me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
brought to you by the library. You know, I've been on the waiting list for several months for this, and it finally
So,
came in.
Let me
so
ask you a question. You know how they have these books? They have false books. When you open them up, it like hides something inside. Is there a knife or two in that one?
I'm
Or-
afraid not.
There's a hammer for your feet to read that. Start pounding.
I'm afraid not. There's no hammer. There's no knife. It's just the book itself.
I didn't know she could read a book, let alone write one. That's
Why-
interesting.
She has a woman in her. Like
Yeah,
an
that
older
too.
one?
Yeah, get her out of there,
Yeah, get her out. Like she possessed. You know.
or it's dirty.
I read a book once called "The Woman on Me." Wait, no, that wasn't a book. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
No.
wrong. That's wrong.
That was different.
Different
Yeah.
book. Yeah.
The Woman with Me.
Yeah.
I gotta position my head right so I'm not killing
We'll
vampires.
edit all this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure we will.
Yeah, it'll stay.
Okay.
It'll stay in. Is that the only one, Skoke? You just have that one?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Oh,
I don't know about predictions, but I was going to ask the group before I fell asleep and passed out. How long do you guys still say Happy New Year? Because that was when I was making commercials. That was a pet peeve of mine, and I told the people that would write the sales people that would make the deals with sponsors would write their own scripts, and it would be like February 5th, and it's like Happy New Year, and I'm like, no, it's not. We're done with that.
it's
That's
not
coming
New
up.
Year.
Here,
I'm not saying Happy New Year. I'm like, that is ship has sailed. And it's funny because I know, and it's back. Curb Your Enthusiasm. New season started last night. I know there was an episode where that's what annoyed Larry. He's like, January 7th. That's it. And I'm
I got Happy New Year in March once. Yeah, that one had to take me back. I'm like, I think
I'm gonna say it all year until
Yeah.
December next year or this year.
so on your birthday, December 31st, somebody
Yeah.
can tell you Happy New Year if they haven't
Happy
seen
New
it.
Year. Thanks.
We
Yeah,
got
Hey,
one
you
do
know,
it.
Artie,
Yeah.
I
You
saw,
could do it right, like do it before midnight and right after, so you could say Happy New Year 2 years in a row right away.
That's
Or
true.
say it at midnight. You know.
you know, Artie, you got something online that I kind of like and I sort of want to pick up on. But I saw for Groundhog Day, you said next year maybe a monkey. I
Yeah,
like that idea.
yeah, that's a great idea. I think they should a baby gorilla. Has to be
Yeah.
a baby gorilla because the baby gorilla will. You'll know if the gorilla sees a shadow because you can see their eyes moving, and they'll react like the groundhog. I don't know what the thing is thinking, but you could see what the gorilla is looking at. That's a good idea, right? Like it doesn't have to be a groundhog, and I don't think that's a real ground. I think it's a woodchuck, or maybe they're the same thing. Maybe it's a beaver, but why don't you use a baby gorilla? Would be great. A silverback gorilla, you know.
That's not a groundhog, it's a rat.
That's a rat terrier. I don't know what that is, but that
No,
the gorilla.
we're not
would
at
look
the
good.
Ramova Theater, and if one of the rats at the Ramova Theater sees its shadow
Yeah,
and there's not a cat on your lap, that means 6 more weeks of winter.
that's right. But every year they should get a new baby gorilla. Not the same one, just a brand new one.
Oh,
A
and
brand new
not the
baby.
same one because the guy in Philadelphia, the Puxatawny Phil, it's the same one every year.
Yeah, I know. But like, why does that woodchuck get to do it? You know, why does
Yeah.
it have to be that? Why can't
Well,
it be like a
he's
baby elephant or
experienced. He's
something?
been doing it for years. You get a baby monkey every year, they're not going to know what they're doing.
Yeah, and then if it gets scared, it'll jump out of your arms and run up the tree. It'll cause chaos. It'll be great. You'll never know what's going to happen on Groundhog Day event. And they don't change the name. Keep calling it Groundhog Day. 'Cause
We'll
that's
call
the way it is.
Puxatawny Phil.
But it's a
Puxatawny
gorilla.
Phil is broken out of his cage and he's on the loose. We're not
Yeah.
sure if he saw a shadow or not, but he's ripping people's faces off.
And then one day he'll see a shadow and say, "Mama, Mama."
I was going to say,
You're like, oh,
exactly.
whoa.
Zayas, phase 1 complete.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Vision has
My
begun.
mom has been sending me pictures of baby gorillas ever since I posted that. She finds them. Look at this one, RT. Like, yeah, he's cute. I'd like to get one, but I don't know how long they last, you know, until
Baby
they start
gorillas?
biting your face
Yeah,
and stuff.
I think about
No.
6 months before they grow into non-baby
Yeah,
gorillas.
yeah, exactly. They're not
Like a
seeing
month, right?
party. That's not. No, you don't want to. You don't want to get that. That's not good.
No, they'll be good for like 2 days, but I'm sure they poop a lot, you know?
Anthony says, I hear it'll be 6 more weeks of winter if there's a lone glove on John's floor.
That's true. Yeah.
Wow.
I have a prediction.
Yeah.
Ooh,
tell
I
me.
predict that beginning March 1st, you will be able to go to a theater at Navy Pier and hear my voice talking
Really?
to you. Yes, this is
Oh,
true.
Tell
There's
me.
they're making a new, it's sort of like an immersive theater experience, which kind of reminds me of Johnny's 4DX experience. They're
Oh, man.
they're building this big curved screen, and you'll be able to go there, and it's going to feel like you're flying through Chicago at night. And as you fly through the city, there are voices you'll hear of people talking inside, and I was one of those voices. So you will be able to
Do you
hear
remember
me in that.
I predict that your voice is going to be like, ah, it's coming right at me.
That's it's funny because that's a lot of what I was doing. They call it a loop group. That's what I was part of, and there was maybe 5 or 6 of us in this recording studio, and we were just providing these crowd background voices for about 2 hours this past Friday. So that's what it is. I don't know how well you'll be able to pick me out of the crowd, but we had to say things like, I don't know, like there was a basketball game going on, so we had to yell out things, and in a movie theater, just little conversations that were happening. So
Shut up!
yeah,
Try to your avatar. Shut up.
Chuck.
You know, at my building downtown where I used to work, where all these radio stations still are, the Prudential Towers, in the lobby, they had a big, almost widescreen looking thing that they would show video from, and they would have drone camera shots, just like you're describing, sprawling views of the city in different neighborhoods and stuff, and it would be over Soldier Field and Wrigley Field, and you know, all that things of that nature.
Yeah.
Didn't your building used to be Wayne Tech, Johnny?
Yes.
Like for the
No.
basketball?
Well, no, but they shot Batman Begins a lot of scenes in Batman Begins are shot at. That's funny, good memory. In the basement because there's a pedway that connects from Prudential Towers to City Hall, and that's several blocks away. And you can walk, especially during the winter. It's really nice. It's heated and it's fine, and you walk under Macy's and everything. But yeah, a lot of the Bat Cycle scenes were shot. It looked like the Bat Cycle was indoors and it passes a flower shop and a few other things. And yeah, that is in the pedway of Prudential, which was cool. And then one of our DJs met what's his face, Joker. The guy died.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. Thank you. Yeah, he was between scenes, downtime. He had a skateboard, and he was tooling around the parking lot on a skateboard and stuff, and Lower Wacker Drive too. No, the Batman Begins is, and same with Dark Knight. The first two were shot here, and then Dark Knight Rises was shot in Pittsburgh. So
That's right.
I have something to add to that. I was on the set of Batman Begins. I was an extra, but they ended up not using us. So we sat in a
Wait,
holding
what's your
area.
line? Watch out, it's coming right for us. Is that your line?
Look out! It's the bat. Oh. No, I didn't have any lines, and they didn't end up using us. We were in this holding area for about 14 hours, but something happened. They just ended up not needing us for the shot. But we did get to go out. They felt bad for us, so they took us out to see the Batmobile up close. It was impressive. You know that tank one?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had that on Lower Wacker Drive when they weren't shooting under a tarp, and some Chicago people who were parking down there found it. And all these people were like doing rando shots on Instagram and Facebook. Hey, nice! Look, it's me right next to the Batmobile over by there. And
I
it
like
was
that it's- I like that it's Sal. Sal's talking.
well, that's all the Chicagoans. They all talk like Sal, exactly. Like nice.
Nice over there.
It's true.
And Anthony asked, "Was I in Gotham City Streakers?" Yes. That sounds like that could be a sequel to Spring Break Lawyer, a follow-up to my character in that fine film. I'm
I
starting.
like that you have crossover appeal to other movies. I like that.
Other
Yeah,
project.
I'm building quite a resume. I mean, I just think at San Diego, I can have a poster behind me, set up a table, and I can start signing. Appeared in Spring Break Lawyer as a streaker, almost in Batman Begins. That'd be
You
great.
could sell
in-
autographed photo of you running away
Oh
with that
yeah,
skin suit. Yeah.
Once saw
A flesh cut.
Killers of the Flower Moon in theaters and on Netflix. You can put
That's
that
right.
up on your
That's
resume.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any predictions for 24. I'm trying to think.
I got a list. You want to hear my list?
Sure.
Let's hear
Okay.
it.
So
The year 2000.
So top of my list is Taylor and Travis Kelce getting married and breaking Skoke's heart in the process.
Oh,
That's my top prediction of 2024.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to see Travis get married.
I understand.
Right?
they're gonna do it. I bet she whispered in his ear, "I'm pregnant." Like that. That's what
man.
I think she said to him.
I got a little
What did she
football.
whisper? And everyone's saying "Hail Hydra." I said, "No, she's saying I'm pregnant."
I think Franco's going to be right about that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's the over under?
Yeah, but once they get married, like the sizzle's gone, and I think they want to maintain the sizzle as long as possible. And God, she's all she does is write songs about her boyfriend breakups.
Yeah,
So that's going to kill her muse if she marries Kelsey.
yeah. The first album will be how much she loves him, and then the second one will be how he leaves the dishes in the sink, stuff like that. How he doesn't fix the bed, you
Yep.
know.
And then the third one's going to be what a jerk. Taylor's
Yeah, get
version.
rid of this guy.
Yeah. Meet my lawyer. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be the big hit on that one. Yeah.
I
Meet
need
my lawyer. Taylor's
I
version.
need a side piece album. Yeah,
I need a side piece.
side piece.
No, I'm a sucker for love stories. I think they're going to go all the way. They're going to stay married for a long, long time.
I bet she's pregnant right now. That's what I'm thinking.
Hilarious.
You know,
Yeah.
last night.
They're not flying around from Tokyo to the Super Bowl then right away. That's going to cause a rumble in the Bay. Yeah, just like Flat Stan Lee. I mean, listen, let me give you some advice. Don't go to the air right away. It'll pulverize your bones and your pelvic area.
Now, if
She's,
you were on the airplane, if you're on the, how come when you're on the airplane and you get up, to go use the lavatory or
The
whatever,
loo, the
Yes.
loo,
and
yeah.
you could walk there just fine. But what if you jumped? Would you get there faster? Like if
Oh, I
you
want you
jumped
to-
on the plane?
And we're on a plane already. I want to see you try that. We've already almost been kicked off of one plane.
Yeah,
Let's
we
say
almost
that.
got kicked off twice in the same
Sir.
plane.
Sir, I don't want to tell you again, sir.
Calm down, sir.
Yeah, calm down. Yeah, the saving grace was the other stewardess coming over to us and going basically, yeah, she's nuts. Don't worry about it.
I like. Here's the response. Calm down, sir. I am calm. Like, okay.
True.
Okay.
No, but I wasn't angry. I mean, I was inside, but I'm like, I am calm.
Because I know when that happened, I just went, oh, I'm just looking at my.
Use your
My bro-
inside voice, sir. Use your inside voice.
I am calm.
Already,
Yeah.
we're gonna get kicked off. And I'm like, we're gonna get kicked off this plane. Yeah, what do you mean we? You're gonna get kicked off this
I'm
plane.
not going.
I'm just sitting there, sir.
But I like how your bag is unzipped and all the stuff's always falling out.
That's
And
not
you're
true.
You're trying to
is so
show
not
the bag
true.
underneath the
No, I
seat.
was grabbing my iPad. I wanted to
Yeah, but
read.
not- Did you not
all the
see him
stuff's
show up to the
falling out of it.
podcast upside down?
So
Of
not
course
true.
everything's gonna fall.
That
fall
is
out
so
of
not
it.
true. But whatever. But fine. Okay.
Do you think Taylor Swift?
Okay.
Do you think Taylor Swift on her private flight from Tokyo to the Super Bowl is going to have that kind of a nasty?
Exactly.
Wait,
Yeah.
stewardess?
Move your underhead, your bag under your seat.
Does
Absolutely.
she have her own plane?
It's got to be.
Wouldn't
She
you?
frequently
I still
takes
fly
private
like
planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
They,
cause
they
problem.
bring her into her concerts in a custodial cart. You think she's gonna fly commercial? I don't
Like a
think so.
dumpster?
that?
What are you talking about?
I was at
There's
the airport
video
once
of
and,
her. There's video of her being brought into her concert in a custodial cart. They wheel her in and she pops out of it to go up on
Really?
stage. Yeah.
like Walter White. That's what they did on Breaking Bad.
hmm
Put him in the laundry cart.
Yep.
When he
Uh,
says, "Does the laundry have to be dirty?"
I would imagine Audrey has the answers to all these questions. I'm just
Mhm.
being the Swiftie that she is.
She's full of riz.
See, I'd fly regular like with everybody. Just buy a ticket, get on.
Hey,
the
how you
plane.
doing?
You know, like I was
Yeah, but
at
then-
an airport once, and Judge Mathis, in the Judge Show.
Yeah.
Yes.
He walked in there, and he walked up to the counter, and I was in line for something, but he sat right there, and he looked at me, and he had a newspaper, and he said, "You think anyone will notice I'm here? Is it safe to sit here?" And I went, "Everyone knows who you are, sir." And then he took his paper. He goes, "Oh, we'll see." And he went, like made all kinds of noise. And I said, "What are you like? Look at him. What are you doing?" And like, you don't want to get recognized, but then everybody, Judge Mathis. And then he got up, rolled his eyes. He had to walk away. Like he knew
Oh,
what he
please,
was
he
doing.
loved it. Give me a
Yeah.
break. Gee, is anyone going to notice how famous I am?
Yeah, and I said, "They all know who you are." There was another time.
I
where,
wouldn't have known him. And I don't watch the show, but good Lord, the promos for Judge Mathis is on like 24/7. You'd think I would know
Yeah.
him by heart.
I was at an airport once with Jimmy the Muscle. We were waiting there and drinking our coffee, whatever, and Dan Marino walked by. It's a football guy. Dan Marino walked by, but he didn't want to stop because people are like, "There's Dan Marino." He kept walking, pacing, till
Sure.
finally Jimmy says, "Hey, dude, you can sit by us. We'll be all right with you." You know, he actually sat down next to us for a little while. He actually sat there, and then he looked. He goes, "All right, Phil, thanks," and he got up and left because people started saying, "Hey, Dan Marino."
Did he do an O.J. Simpson and vault over luggage as he was coming at you?
Oh, he could have. No, he was.
Remember the old lady in that commercial? Go, OJ!
Okay.
OJ, where's the beef? Yeah, I remember.
It was basically Clara Peller. You're right. Boy, that is a different connotation now. Run, OJ, run!
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Get to the Bronco on time. Come on. The
Whatever happened to
LAPD
him?
is going to come after you. Come on.
The LAPP?
Is he still around, OJ? Is he in Mexico now?
I think he's back in jail. I
Oh,
think
is
Is he hanging
I don't-
around
well,
with?
maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, he was
Is
in
he hanging
Florida.
around with his hoochie mamas now?
I'm
I
gonna
think-
look online.
I think he's on TikTok, so I don't think
He's
he's
an
in
old
jail.
man now, right? He's like about 90.
I like how Yoko Chips knew the name of the Where's the Beef lady. I didn't.
Clara-
Clara Peller, of course. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, he does.
How do you
didn't-
not know that?
I didn't know that was her name.
She was worldwide
Where's the
famous.
beef lady?
What are you talking about?
OJ has been out of jail since December of 21.
Yeah,
So
we all
It's
knew
our
that.
OJ,
Jody. Thanks
our
for playing.
OJ update.
Yes, exactly. That's just in.
I saw Netflix has that Pawn Stars and
Yes.
that rapper guy with the big clock on him. I forgot
Flavor
his
Flavor
name.
Flav?
Yeah, that guy, Flavor Flav. He walked in the pawn store with a big OJ statue, and he wanted to sell it to him, and they were asking where he got it, and he got it from when the cop seized the stuff. He ended up getting
Bought
it
it?
real cheap, and but they didn't want to buy it from him.
Now I saw
They-
Flavor
They didn't
Flav.
want
Not,
that statue in their stores, looking at everybody.
I saw Flavor Flav not in
That was
the airport. He was in Evanston, and just
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, in the summer, man, and was totally decked out. Had his giant alarm clock on his chest and everything. So he didn't mind being recognized. People were taking photos with him.
Flavor Flav. He's
Yep.
like
He had it-
80 years old too, isn't he?
I bet he's like in his 60s.
Didn't
The
he
old
date
guy.
Brigitte Nielsen for a while?
He's like
Yes, he
60,
did.
but his teeth are like 15 years old.
Exactly. Well, and she used to call him Foofy Foo because she couldn't say Flavor Flav.
Flavor
And it was
Flav.
when the years were not kind to Brigitte Nielsen. That
Yeah.
I
all right,
bet he got his. I bet he got his name by trying to spell something, and then he stopped writing the word twice.
maybe He
Like,
will be
flavor,
60
no flavor. Like that's it. That's your name.
he'll be retirement age March 16th.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, speaking of Flavor Flav, Apollo Creed died. No, I
Yeah.
mean Brigitte Nielsen. Speaking of Brigitte Nielsen, because of Rocky, the Rocky connection.
Bridget Nielsen died too.
No,
She
Apollo
died
Creed.
again.
Carl Weathers died.
Carl Weathers. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was sad. That one.
it was sad.
I
Yeah.
felt that
He
one.
was then. I thought for sure we'd run into him at a Comic-Con because he was doing comic conventions.
Yeah.
I think
And I knew his quote and how much he was getting, and it was under 10,000 an appearance.
the day he passed away, or the day it was announced that he passed away, I saw that he was scheduled to be at like Dublin Comic Con or something like that. So they had just announced it that morning, and I'm like, oof. And he's in that the Gronk Super Bowl commercials that are running right now too. So
Yep.
Sad.
And of course,
sadness.
Mandalorian.
You know.
Very
Yeah.
good in Mandalorian.
Mendo.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring everybody down. Sorry.
No, I love that guy. I remember. All right, who saw Action Jackson in the theater?
Yeah. It was at Brighton Theater all summer. I saw it a bunch of times.
Yeah,
And Vanity was the
with
girl.
Vanity. Yeah.
All right, Vanity. I forgot. I was going to ask who the girl was. It was Vanity. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Very
that's
good.
what put her on the map. You know.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
she was on the map
Well,
before that for
on my
Prince.
map,
Yeah,
you know.
Prince.
I
Yeah,
don't
well,
watch a
you
lot
know,
of stuff.
she was grooving with Prince and everything, and we were all paying attention to her when she was drumming for Prince.
Mhm.
Or she was in the karate movie with Leroy. Leroy.
Yeah. What was
Bruce
the name of
Leroy.
that movie?
Last Dragon
Yeah, she was in
Yeah,
there too.
Barry Gordy's Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
those
the
were
El
cool. Those
DeBarge
were her two,
soundtrack.
Yeah. That's right.
she peaked right there. That was it.
Speaking of movies, my next prediction is Paramount and Warner Brothers merging this year. That's a prediction.
I don't
Really?
think.
Yeah.
I think Sky because both companies are in debt, and I think Skydance is going to end up buying Paramount. Skydance has been financing Paramount movies for more than the last 10 years and picking the good ones.
What is Skydance? That movie?
Skydance, if you watch at the beginning of a movie, like they've produced the last 5 Mission Impossible movies, they produced all the Star Trek movies. You'll see their name because when you watch a movie now, it's not just Warner Brothers presents. It's like
oh yeah.
Skydance and Focus Features and like literally like 4 or 5 Mandalay. I know it's
Yeah,
another
they got 10 minutes of logos.
right, exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, Skydance is one of the big ones, and they're the guy in charge of it. I forget that, or he is the son. The guy who's in charge of Skydance is the son of this tech guy who runs Oracle, which is this huge tech company. So I think they have the money to buy Paramount, and they're already in business with Paramount. So the only hitch to the deal is, they have to buy. Paramount owns a lot of movie theaters still too, and they're like, no, you got to buy everything, and it's like, movie theaters are not the greatest investment these days. So
You think Paramount was originally called Mount, but then they got two of them?
I can't say that
Coach
again.
Levin.
My
That's
other
weird.
prediction attached to the Warner Brothers Paramount thing is I think they buy the Mavs this year. That's the other thing.
They buy a van?
The Mavericks.
Mavericks.
Dallas
So Mario could get involved with
Oh, the Mavs.
yeah.
Mario just came on and he's listening. So
They're
I
going to
thought
buy
I'd
a
bring that up.
van to haul the crew.
It's weird though, because Paramount is one of those original, even going back to the Silence movie studios, but a good portion of their classic pre-1960s catalog, I think, is owned by Warner Brothers and by Turner. All of that, because they don't own. They had all the Cary Grant movies. They had a lot of really big movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Exactly. But you go to Paramount Plus, and like the oldest stuff there is like The Godfather from 1970.
Well, how did they manage that? What did they sell off the catalog or something?
Yeah, that. Well, I was watching fantastic for movie buffs. Fantastic limited series, documentary series about RKO, and RKO changed hands over the years, and then in the 40s and early 50s, it was owned by Howard Hughes, the billionaire, and he sold to these guys who did not want the studio. They just wanted the movie library because TV was happening. So they wanted to be able to license the movies to TV. And hello, Fred. Desi Arnaz bought RKO from those guys that only wanted the movie library, and they turned it into Desilu. And it was like the biggest television studio from the 50s to the mid 60s. And there's a great 2-hour Desilu documentary about the history of when Desi and Lucy owned the studio and stuff. And yeah, they produced The Untouchables and just tons of really popular shows.
Star Trek?
Of course. And Mission Impossible. And then they sold the Paramount.
You've been listening to the History Channel, where we've been talking about old Hollywood with John
Sure.
Fortress.
True story.
Pair of mounts.
Wow.
Probably like the logo should be two guys on horses, right?
Or
Is
two
that a
mountains.
mountain? Or is it a mountain? It's only one mountain though.
Paramount means like the highest height. It has
But
nothing to
there's
do
two.
with that pair, two
It's a
mounts.
pair of mounts.
But there's two
I
mountains.
remember I was in 8th grade or 6th grade or so, and the teacher was talking about paradox. And I was like, what is this? And he came up to
Why
me
did
and
you-
says, what is? Can you define paradox? And I'm like, two docs.
You're like Chico Marx in a Marx Brothers movie.
I didn't know what paradox was.
Okay, Wyatt Duck. I don't know.
Two docs? And he went on. Balthazar, huh? I'm like, yes.
Why is that?
He walked away.
Paradox.
Two
That's
dots.
a true story.
I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that was a true story.
Yeah. So that joke's been ongoing,
Yeah.
Very rustic tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm hardcore right now. I'm hunkering hardcore. I finished my book yesterday at about 6 a.m, inking it, and now I got to color the last 31 pages before Saturday or before Super Bowl because they need everything before Monday. So that's my goal, so I can enjoy the Super Bowl and not have to come home and draw all night again after the game.
I started to try to watch some of the Super Bowl commercials that are already out there on YouTube. And right now, my favorite, and I think Wayne sent it to all of us on Saturday or Sunday, for Paramount, ironically. We're still talking about Paramount. It was they did versions of it in years past where they show all the TV shows that are on Paramount Plus. And this year, Patrick Stewart takes the lead. And it's I don't even want to spoil it. It's very, very funny. I don't know, Francis, what do you think? You saw
I
it.
thought it was funny. Yeah.
Patrick Stewart. What do they call you? Wheels? And
It's an X-Men reference for those of you out there.
that's right. All
All right, next,
do it, man. I can't wait. I've been looking at a lot of Deadpool 3 stuff, and I'm getting excited.
Is it out
Wolverine with
July?
sleeves.
When's it out? July?
I have no idea.
yeah.
It's coming. It's coming this year.
It is. Yeah. No, it's that and only one other movie I think for Marvel.
I think it's Marvel's only movie because the other
Yeah.
ones are Sony Marvels.
But
So,
they could
I don't
stop
know.
making them for a while. It's like,
Oh yeah. Well, you're right, Madam. I wasn't counting Madam Web, but
Madam Web. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, we got Madam Web.
It one looks kind of
Crappy.
It looks like
That comes out on Valentine's Day. I could see.
Yeah,
taking
it's
that.
only a little more than a week away. Crap.
Oh man.
yeah, Madam Web. It was an old lady in the comics, though. I thought
Maybe she
Kathy
still is
Lee-
in the movie.
Kathy Lee Curtis, or what's her name? Jamie
Yeah,
Lee
Kathy
Curtis.
Lee Curtis. That's
Yeah,
right.
from Halloween. She would have made a great Madam
Hey,
Web.
good news. We got Kathy Lee Curtis for our convention. It's like
Yeah.
that fake Stan Lee that used to do conventions. Remember
Yeah,
that guy? Like
put her in the red dress and sit her on a chair. That's all she does. She
Kathy Lee Curtis.
I think she wears a blindfold too, doesn't she? They
You
should have
know,
put her in there and have
But in
these other
fairness
girls.
to Hardy, there was Kathy Lee Crosby. So it's kind of like Barbara Walters with Hardy. I can
So it's
understand.
not the Crosby one; it's the one from Halloween.
Oh, I know. That's
Yeah, Jamie Lee
Tony
Curtis.
Curtis's kid.
yeah.
that is my daughter.
But she would make a better version of this,
Kathy Lee Curtis.
this Dakota girls. Like, I don't know. They're not gonna. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't think it's gonna be the same character. Because she could see the future, but she would. When did she time travel Spider-Man all over? I forgot how it went. But whenever she showed up in the comic book, I didn't like it. It was the same feeling as like when the Brady's grandma and grandpa would come on the show, or like Family Ties had the grandpa was stealing money. Like, man, I hate grandpa episodes. And then when they had old people in movies and comics, it was like this was a waste. Like
Well, maybe
Madam
they
Web
listen.
being old lady
Maybe
in
they
the book
listened to
was
you,
terrible.
and maybe they listened to you, and they didn't put the old lady Madam Web in the movie because they knew you would dislike it
That's
so much.
true. That's true.
Yeah, once they made Aunt May Marissa Tomei, you knew that was that.
Yeah.
trend for old people.
That was a good move, though.
I
That
was
good.
watching the first Spider-Man movie, and you forget like the woman who played Aunt May was an old lady. It was like, right, that's Aunt May. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's,
Mhm.
you know.
And he doesn't
Peter.
even call her Aunt May in the new movie. He calls her
May.
May.
Calls her May. Right.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah,
wants to
but
get down.
the thing that bothers me about these girl Spider-Men is none of them have eyes.
These
like-
girl Spider-Men.
Yeah.
How to
They don't
categorize
have the eyes on their mask. They're all cut
Right.
open, like you could see their faces. And
crap.
I don't like that. Like, why don't they have the whole face? Like, I know the Spider-Woman's face was open here, like Batman, but
Mhm.
she had the spider eyes, but they don't have it now. It looks like
Right.
their costume is not finished.
That
it's like
girl's got Spider-Man eyes.
Like, she got
Look
like
at-
black tape on her head instead. Like somebody wrapped up in. All right, this is enough. I'll just put
Yeah,
a
because
few
it looks
lines.
real tight, like it's pulling at the
Yeah.
skin and stuff like that. So yeah,
I'm gonna go to the convention with tape on my face and see if people recognize me.
She gets mask.
Put it around the eyes.
She's got like red around her face, and it's like, hey, are you Madam Web? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Really?
Yeah.
Your mouth looks kind of irritated from your red mask burn. No.
Madam
well,
Web.
Artie and I did that at a convention. We were inundated with people at a convention. We were signing all weekend, and then we had to go sign at a different booth. And Artie's like, "Hey, let's wear masks at this signing,
Well, we were signing Ninja Town.
Ninja Town."
at
So we
Devil's
dressed up
Gate,
as
and then we
ninjas.
decided to dress like ninjas.
You guys just have the best
And,
costume.
and nobody showed up at the signing. It
We
was
were at-
awesome.
were at
Everybody
the
kept
table.
walking by us.
With
Nobody
masks on, you can't
recognized us.
see anything. People are like, "Why are there ninjas? We're signing our new
I still
ninja book."
I used to love when you guys would dress up, and Frank would be Jor-El, and you'd be Superman. And
Yeah, it's good. I gotta create a character for Webster the Spider Monkey called Madam Webster. Have her in there, but she doesn't wear a mask.
Madam Webster.
Put some
Madam
tape on her face.
Webster, the Spider Monkey.
Could be a baby gorilla for Groundhog's Day. You know.
When do you get the rights to Gorilla again, sir?
Oh, never.
Never.
Yeah, I was going to say
Probably
probably
about 95 more years.
that sucks. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to drink prune juice and stay alive so you get it back when 90,
Yeah.
you know,
Once,
95
once
years from now.
you'll be
Prune
fine
juice and vitamins.
once it goes into public domain. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta wait. That's all. Just gotta wait. Yeah, but I don't know. I've been. I don't want to say. I can't say yet.
Don't
But
say.
yeah, just
Don't
keep watching. I'm trying to do stuff. Trying to make things happen with Grill Grill. But we'll see.
Attaboy. All right. All right.
Yeah. Anyone who ever had a Disney license, I would bug them. So when it went to, I think was that Joe Books was doing Disney for a little while, and then Dark Horse was doing Disney for a little while. So I kind of follow. I pay attention to who's
Yeah.
working on Disney. So it's kind of cool.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
We need to package you the way they packaged Al Michaels and Oswald Rabbit.
Yeah.
Because Universal owned NBC, and they wanted, when Sunday Night Football happened, and Al Michaels went for Monday Night Football, and they wanted him for Sunday Night Football, and Disney obviously still owned Monday Night Football, and they made the deal where they traded Al Michaels for Oswald Rabbit, so
Yeah.
the Disney company could get Walt's first creation back.
Yeah, and I think Oswald's public domain too. Only like that, of course.
Could be.
Like Steamboat Willie, the very first version.
Right.
Because
No, you're probably right, Artie.
yeah,
You're probably
because
right.
different versions happened immediately with him.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he was on so many different ways, and he was once part of Woody Woodpecker's universe too.
Exactly.
they had
Walter Lance. That's right.
Yeah, they made him a brown bunny with he had a different face. He looked more realistic, cutesy like an Easter bunny.
Yes.
But he had pants on. He always had the overalls. So
That's right.
So it's very tricky with him. He's a tricky public domain character. Well, they all are.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're right, Artie. They're all going to be tricky. That's why. I mean, I've loved these speculative articles that have come out since Steamboat Willie's public domain status of, could Marvel ever make a movie with Batman and Superman? And it's like, yeah, not really. No. And they
It has
won't.
to be real specific to
Right.
that first version.
And I don't think we've discussed it, but Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins are doing in March that Black Label The Batman 1939.
Yeah, I watched your interview. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wondered, I mean, Jurgens is like, well, I don't know, it's above my pay grade. But I wondered if they're doing that so that it's going to have to be even more specifically looking like Detective 27, because, they're going to make something this year that obviously they have the rights to that story. And even though it emulates the original Detective 27, it's
possible.
I don't know.
Because that version is drawn by Mike Perkins, so he looks different from the original version. But the new version of him is not public. It won't be public domain. It's owned by DC Comics because that's the new version of that one.
Yeah.
So every time a new version is created, it becomes owned. But the original version of it, like if somebody took Batman or Superman or Mickey and all this stuff and made it, you have to make it in a way where it's distinctive to you, or you draw it exact, but you can't.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think it can. I don't know.
But
people,
the distinction can't look like. It has to be where it can't be mistaken for Disney.
Well,
so
and
you
it
have
can't
to obviously see it. Like, what Disney didn't make that? That's the big deal.
Well, we'll see what happens, I guess. But Alex Ross did Project Superpowers like 15 years ago, and it was a bunch of public domain heroes. They just didn't maintain the copyright, and that's where you got the Black Terror.
Yeah,
Airboy was also like one of those. And the two names of the company, the publishing company, was Nador, Nedor, and Fiction House. It was the same company, but they changed names over the years. Oh. And all these great golden age ideas are in public domain, but I don't know. Not sure, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's tricky.
There's a guy called Airboy.
Airboy.
Yeah, he was the World War II hero. Yeah. Back in the 80s, again, because they didn't maintain the license, even in the 80s, Chuck Dixon wrote it. And yeah, it was great. And it was this kid pilot who had a really cool kind of Batmobile kind of plane that was all souped up and everything, and really distinct design. And his one of his bad women was Valkyrie. And I know Dave Stevens drew an amazing cover of Airboy and this very sexy picture of Valkyrie and stuff.
Sexy.
It's cool.
Say it.
I can't. I got to tell you after. Because it's not good.
He's got something in the hopper
I know.
there.
That's why I'm going to go with. Speaking of sexy, my next prediction is that they're going to announce a new James Bond, and my prediction.
I'm going to text you
and my
guys.
prediction is that it's going to be one of two people. It's either going to be Matt Damon or Ben Affleck.
thought you
What's
knew.
the prediction?
That either Matt Damon or Ben Affleck is going to be the new James Bond.
Oh. Nobody cares.
Nobody
I'm-
likes that one.
Wait,
Nobody cares.
I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, they're still making
I-
these movies.
No,
you know?
no, you misunderstood. They're not making spring break James Bond.
Oh,
They're just making regular James Bond.
okay. There's no
Spring Break Secret Agent.
mention of hemorrhoids in the next James
No.
Bond movie. Okay, then
No.
never mind.
All right,
never
so
mind.
that
You're
one was a dud. I'm crossing that one out.
Spitball.
Right.
You're spitballing.
Moving to the next prediction, that at some point this year they're going to announce a DC actor that's going to be in a Marvel film.
Mm.
So like
That
Henry
happens a lot,
Cavill or
though.
something like that. Well, they've
That Strong guy. What's his name? Strong something. He was Sinestro, and then he was.
Oh, Mark Strong. Yeah, I know.
He was several characters. Or
He
maybe
was
just
a-
in DC.
He's the bad guy in Kick-Ass too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was
He was Sinestro.
Shazam's bad guy.
Well, there's
Right,
speculation.
you're right. Yeah.
They haven't officially announced anybody yet as
Uh-huh.
having crossed over. So there. Well,
That's
no, that's
true.
already happened though. Because kind of wasn't Ryan Reynolds like no, he went the other way
Right.
though.
Yeah, he was both. Yeah.
Well, first he was Marvel, then he went with DC, and then he came back to Marvel. So
Well, he played. Not only did he play at Marvel Deadpool, but he was Hannibal King in the third Blade movie.
yeah, that's right.
And Chris Evans, I was trying because I know he did Johnny Storm in the early Fantastic Four movies, Four Stick, before he was Captain America, but he hasn't been in any DC characters.
Yeah, he was in that DC movie. Wasn't it The Losers?
Oh, I was going to say, you're right. He was in The Losers. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rare.
Yeah.
I just texted you the joke I was thinking.
I saw that. I'm afraid to look at this thing now.
But you don't have to read it out loud. That's what I always.
You can-
Yeah, I'm
you-
not reading that out loud.
All right, fine.
That's what
Fine.
made me laugh.
I know. Fuck. Jesus.
Oh boy.
Nice. There you go. Once again, everybody, a joke that the four of us can enjoy and nobody else.
Nobody
Very
else
good.
can.
That's good podcasting right there. That's fine podcasting. That's like Mike told me David Spade and Dave and Dana Carvey, they do their SNL podcast, Fly on the Wall,
Right.
where they interview former cast members and behind the scenes people and stuff. And now they have a pilot for their show called Superfly, where it's just them talking. And listen, they're very funny men. They're very successful, funny comedians and comic actors. This show sucks. It wasn't funny. And
Superfly?
it's called Superfly, and it's only like 45 minutes of talk, if that. And I don't know, man. It's just they're doing what we do, and I'm sorry, I have a bigger expectation for comedians to actually tell funny stories and not just like open the microphones and wind their watches for 45 minutes.
Where is this thing airing?
Oh, it's on all the where you can find podcasts. If you're gonna,
Okay.
if you're going to listen to it or watch it, I would suggest watching it because they go through 5 minutes of David Spade photos of him on red carpets, and they're describing him on the audio. And I'm like, I hope this is also a video podcast because this really sucks. And they have these two happy, laughing producers that laugh at anything they say, and it's like, yeah, that wasn't earned. That wasn't funny.
Oh wow.
So, wow.
That's not a podcast.
Exactly. It's not dinner.
That's not there. That's not a show.
It's not a show.
Crap. But they did just have Joe Piscopo on Fly on the Wall, and that was really interesting.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Because he was on, he was on that season that really sucked really bad.
Yeah.
And then finally, like near the end of the season, they got Eddie Murphy as a featured player. And then they changed producers, and the only two people they kept were Piscopo and Eddie Murphy.
Right, I remember that.
Gilbert Godfrey was on that cast, and Anthony Michael Hall.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. was on. What's his face? Randy Quaid was on that cast.
I remember when that happened because they announced Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr. And I'm like, oh, they were in like Weird Science and a couple other movies together, and Anthony Michael Hall was the bigger star. And I remember how bad those episodes were. Those SNLs were. They were just
horrible.
Not funny.
No, and but they had funny people. They just wrote bad sketches. Well, Jean Doumanian, the producer, she really made her career as a co-producer with Woody Allen, and she was more on the business side. She wasn't on the funny side, and she was Lorne Michaels' assistant, and that's why she got the job, because they figured, all right, well, you've been working under Lorne for 5 years. You must know what you're doing. Wrong.
Oh.
Charlene Tilton was a host that year from Dallas. The little tiny hot.
Oh, I just saw her on an episode of Password on Buzzer, the Buzzer channel.
Oh, the reruns. I love that. Yeah, I love Buzzer. My favorite is you had two gay celebrities, Dick Sargent, the second Darren on Samantha,
Dick
on Bewitched.
Sargent.
Yeah, work on that name, Artie. And Penis Military, I believe, would be Dick Sargent. And Fannie Flagg. She was always on Match Game and stuff, but they had them on as a couple, which I think is great because they weren't overtly letting people know back in the 70s that they were gay, but that way they could be on Tattletales and still make money and be celebrities. But they were like quietly, oh yeah, they're dating. Yeah, okay, sure they are.
You're
Right, everybody, that's Penis Military as Darren.
I got questions, but I'm not gonna ask you.
Well, Dick Sargent was replaced by Dick York.
Other way around.
Other way around. Yeah. So.
Sergeant York.
No,
that's a different guy.
You're switching.
Barbara.
Dick Sargent replaced Dick York on Bewitched.
Yeah.
They both had the same name.
Yeah, Dick York, Dick Sargent.
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
Both
That
their
was
names.
real popular
Dick.
back then.
Yeah.
Call your kid that.
They had two
And
dicks.
he was angrier. It's like Zachary Quinto being Spock after Leonard Nimoy. He was an angrier Darren than Dick. Dick York was more exasperated. Sam. Hello, Sammy.
She's watching some show where people are getting married. It's a reality show. I don't know what it's called, but they were getting married, and the guy says, "For richer or poorer," and I said, "Well, who's Richard?" She says, "What?" Is the guy's name Richard? She went, "No." I'm like, well, what's Richard? Why are they doing this for Richard or poorer? Bad.
I'm sure
We'll
she
edit that
loves
out. That
watching
wasn't fun.
TV. Yeah, we
Setup
did.
was terrible.
Speaking of that Buzzer channel, the game show channel, every commercial break they show a commercial for AARP on that thing, which I guess.
And what's wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing. Kevin Kleinhans pointed out earlier that I've been drinking prune juice, boiling chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm watching AARP commercials.
Yeah.
It's happening around.
I don't know what's happening.
Control.
I don't know what's going on with me.
The comedian Dana Gould calls Me TV where television goes to die because every commercial is either for a walk-in bathtub or put a second mortgage on your house and take the money.
It's true.
Yeah, you got what's his face? Magnum PI, Tom Selleck trying to steal your house. with
Exactly.
reverse mortgages and stuff.
Exactly.
He gets mad. He gets mad if you tell him he's trying to steal their houses.
TC, get the chopper. We gotta make people go do reverse mortgages all over Hawaii. Sounds good, Thomas.
All right. All right. Next prediction.
Yes.
One Direction is going to get back together this year. That's what I think.
But they're reversing themselves.
They're reversing.
Going in a different
They're
direction.
going to be called.
You're going the
other
opposite
direction.
way.
Exactly, opposite direction.
Let's go back. The other direction.
One direction.
Same direction. You know, where's my car keys? They're
When
coming.
they, I don't know about out by you, Franco, but here in Chicagoland, including the suburbs, you always see the has-been bands. And don't get me wrong, they're still great. But it's like, all right, playing Taste of Naperville. It's Kansas. And it's
Oh,
like, yeah, has Kansas had a hit in the last 40 years? No, but here they are. You know.
There
Well,
was, I may
I
have
remember
told
we were at an
ahead.
outdoor fest. We were in Florida, and it was a carnival or something going on. We're watching the band, and it was a bunch of old guys. They were like old guys, biker guys, with long hair, jeans, big bellies. And I remember the guy playing his guitar was on his belly, and he was strumming it like this.
Sure.
And then we're watching them. And we're like, oh, these guys are pretty good. And then we watched a few minutes, and the very last song they were singing, "Taking Care of
Yeah, it was
Business." And we're like,
BTO,
oh, those.
Turner Overdrive. Well, I never remember, Franco, who was the band that was at the lodge at Mohegan Sun?
I forget. I forget the name of the band, but they were somebody famous.
They really were. They had
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 hits. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy walking in front of us, and I was making fun of him to Johnny because he was dressed all like rocked out, but he was like 80 years old. This guy.
Yeah, he had like an Indian style like vest. It was
Yeah.
black, but that kind of Native American frayed vest with all the the
Mhm.
dangles or whatever the hell they're called. Yeah.
So he really stood out in the crowd at Mohegan Sun, and I leaned over to Johnny. I said, "It's okay. He's with the band." And then we kept walking, and we saw the guy get up on stage, and he was with the band.
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forget what the name
And
of
we're
the
like,
band was.
just like you were. We're like, these guys are actually really good. And it's like, well, of course they are. They had a hit, 30 years ago. And it's like, oh, that's cool.
I
But
had,
yeah,
I had a friend who went to one of these fairs, these state fairs or whatever, and he said that the band on stage was Tommy Two Tone, 8675309.
sure.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
Tommy Two Tone opened with 8675309. Halfway through the set, he played it again, and then to close out the set, he played it again. So he
Yes.
played the song 3 times, and he said, "I don't know any of the other songs that he played, but he played that one 3 times, so it must have been Tommy Two Tone."
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's like that
One song.
Simpsons episode where Bachman Turner Overdrive are there. And you hear like the last bars of Taking Care of Business. It's like, okay, what else do you want to hear? And Homer goes, "Take care of business." They're like, "Oh, we just played it. Whatever." And they start playing it again. Absolutely, man. Yep. It's a great song. Come on. I don't know if it's great enough to do it 3 times, but yeah, it's like, I know Elgin, Taste of Elgin had Loverboy one year, and we were all laughing about it.
Yeah.
Working for the weekend, and
All right, I only got 2 predictions left.
go for it.
All right, I predict that at some point this year, we will see Anne Hathaway somewhere in a movie.
Oh. I'm going to predict we're not
Oh.
going to see her. She's
Oh,
going to disappear.
That's
I
what
like
you're
She's
predicting?
going to go away.
away. I was just watching that Get Smart remake with her.
I wonder how many actresses are going to show up with a new face this year. We got to predict which one's going to look like a lobster next.
Yeah, they got that Botox. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
back.
they look like octopuses or something.
You can lick their lips and stick them on the wall, and they won't fall down. Yeah,
Yeah, they save them for later.
Suction lips.
Yeah.
That's a good. That's like puppet skin. That should be the name of the show. Suction lips.
They all look like that. They all look like that Muppet from the Dr. Teeth with the girl
Yes!
face.
Yeah, Janice.
Yeah, Janice. They all look like that.
Oh yeah. I forget.
Speaking of which, did you guys see the Muppet series, the new one, Dr.
Yeah.
Teeth series? It
Oh,
was
no,
really good.
I have to watch
Plus,
this. The ABC one was good. Go ahead, say something. Yeah.
There was the Dr. Teeth series on Disney Plus. It's only 8 episodes or something like that. Very funny. You should watch it. You'd like
I
it,
would.
Johnny. A lot of cameos of musicians and stuff.
Oh, that's
Very
cool.
good.
It was, I think, in the first Muppet movie where like everyone's talking at once and it dies down, and then you keep hearing Janice, And she says something like, and then I told the guy, well, I never tried that before, but I'm certainly willing to, or whatever. And it was some sort of like loosely PG sexual kind of thing. And it's like, all right, Janice, sure, she's a rock and roll girl. Ooh,
For
yeah.
sure.
Very
That's not
funny.
better. That's what she
I like
said.
when the ABC Muppet sitcom that didn't last, where Ricky Home or whatever her name is from Garfunkel and Oates, the tall blonde lady, she's dating Fozzie Bear, and she brings Fozzie home to dinner, and they're all freaked out because she's dating a bear puppet. But the best is they're at a club somewhere, and they a hip hop song comes out, and the Swedish chef just starts rapping and just going bork, shvork, burk, burk, and everyone's looking at him like, what the hell's going on? Not as good as the Sesame Street aliens. Yep.
Yep.
Bring.
Like anyone just tuning in right now is like, what is happening?
It holds up. It's still a great bit from Sesame Street.
They're making toys of those guys, action figures.
Yep.
Bernie is here. Hello, Bernie. Hello,
Hello,
wonderful
Bernie.
guy,
Sweet
Bernie.
Bernie.
Tremendous
Sweet
guy.
Bernie!
We love Bernie. I spent a weekend at Bernie's.
It's funny.
Nice.
Well,
All right, I'm
Sweet-
down to my
sweet
last prediction. Want to hear it?
All right. One more.
I predict this is it. I admittedly, for the last two, the Anne Hathaway one and this one, I reached for him a little bit, but I predict that Skorts are going to make a big comeback this year.
Skorts.
Skorts, yeah, like skirt shorts.
Oh, I was thinking
Yeah.
like sports. I was
No.
thinking, what
No,
kind of
sport.
sport can you play?
I'm going to make a prediction that someone is going to be injured from a Jarts lawn and get a Jart in the glass hole.
And there's gonna be an eyeball at the end of the jar. Oh,
Exactly. Hey,
you're gonna lose your eye.
hey, that or all right. Another great lawn action thing that nobody was thinking of when they made it. What was the? It was like a red carpet, but it was yellow rubber, and you'd put the garden hose through it, so it was like a slip and slide. It was
Oh,
called
yeah.
slip and slide.
Slip and slide, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course you'd slip and slide, but like you wouldn't end until like 6 feet afterwards. So you get a nice little lawn burn mark from like your neck down to your chest and everything.
And the grass would be real muddy at the end of that slide.
Exactly.
Or you would get dads that really didn't know how the physics of the thing worked and put it over the pavement of the walkway.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, or cobblestone, like
Yeah,
stones
didn't
or
think-
something.
Hey, they
No,
didn't think
fine. Yeah, the water flows over it. The kids will go right over it. They'll be
my
fine.
nipples are bleeding. Thank you.
We used to in the, in the winter.
Haas.
Hey,
In the winter, we would stack the snow on the steps and slide down the stairs on our sled in the winter. And
Sure.
of course, the tenants didn't like it, and my dad didn't like it. We can't get in the house because it's all icy. But there was a time where we slid, and you go in the grass and the snow's big, you just crash into it. But there was a time where my brother went over that, went into the street, and slid under the car. That was he was stuck.
like Curly in a Three Stooges show.
Yeah. He kept
Artie,
going. He could have got killed. We didn't, there was no traffic coming, but there could have been somebody driving by.
Artie, you got that great like drainage ditch or whatever outside your lawn area. Like I would imagine the kids.
Oh yeah,
Did you ever let the kids sled in winter on that?
yeah.
thing?
We go sledding in the winter. Yeah, it's cool. All the kids are out there. And
Sure.
it's so weird because you think,
Say it
we
like
can have a
John
football
Travolta.
game, or we could play down there, throw the frisbee, but somehow there's no air down there. So when you run around and throw frisbee, everyone's exhausted. Like you can't. It's different. And so when we
It's a
throw the frisbee,
different
kids
atmosphere.
run. Like, Dad,
You might want to get that checked out by the environmental service.
Exactly. That may not be healthy. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
it's real hard to play. And I see kids, they always start, they're like, oh, let's play baseball or football down there. And they don't last 10 minutes. And we moved to the backyard and we could play ball or frisbee in the backyard. But going down there, man, it's tough. I don't know what it is with that.
You get
air
the
pocket.
bends. You get the bends when you sled down there and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. I
And
can't
we
breathe.
even tried flying kites down there. You fly a kite real windy day. And it's kind of like you got to get over that hump that like Tom Hanks had to get over in that Castaway. Before he launches his boat, he got to get over that thing. And this is like we're running with the kites, but you can see the string bending. It's like the air's keeping it down, so the kite goes up a certain way and just kind of like can't get past that bubble. And then we take it out in the street or up above that hole.
See,
I like that Artie goes out with his family to play baseball and then wakes up 2 days later. What happened?
Yeah.
Where are we?
There was one time too, we were watching the kids sled, and I'm sitting drinking coffee at the table, and I see all the kids playing, and all the kids left, and I saw there was one kid laying there, looking at the kid. I'm like,
That's awful.
what's
Oh my
happening? Like,
gosh.
all right, is he playing still? But then it started like he was out there a few minutes, so me and my wife went out there and like, welcome. He was passed out, and
What?
he woke up all woozy, and I walked him home, and he was like, "Hey," I told the mom, knocked on the door. You sure you live here? Like, I'm the neighbor. Don't worry. I think I'm Gordy and Audrey's dad. And they're like, but he was so woozy, and I knocked on the door and said, your kid he was passed out in the hole over there. So,
In the hole.
thank you. Yeah, but that was weird. Like we're poking him with a stick.
Say it like
Yeah,
Travolta.
right. Yeah.
It's so
How-
weird.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Oh my
I had a
god.
good time telling kids stuff down there.
It's like
Parents.
yeah. Area 51 or the Bermuda Triangle or
Right,
something.
like Bermuda Triangle. Exactly. Hey, my
Yeah.
watch isn't working. It's going backwards. What the hell?
It's very strange. Like you can walk down there fine, but once you start running or playing something, it's rough. I
Rough,
haven't
I
slid down there in a while.
It's rough, I tell you.
It's rough, I tell you.
Exactly. Hey, Rodney Dangerfield. Hey,
I have a prediction.
Yeah, tell me.
I think this year they're going to announce a Don Knotts biopic.
Ooh,
What?
who would play him?
that's good.
Oh, I have a casting choice. Steve
Say it.
Buscemi.
Oh,
I mean,
Oh,
you wouldn't think it. He's going to have to work on the accent, but I think he's got that weird kind of Don Knotts face.
he's got those eyes.
yeah.
He's too old to play Don Knotts now.
Well, he could play the old Don Knotts looking back at his career.
The weird Don Knotts face. He said,
They should get that kid. He was in a bunch of movies. Tall, lanky kid. I forget.
DJ Qualls.
I think so. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. He's been in a bunch of movies. They could get him to play young Don Knotts, I think.
That's true.
Yeah. Speaking of fan casting, who would you cast in different roles? Like maybe Greedo could have been played by Sammy Davis Jr. or something.
like
Yeah.
Greedo?
Hey, man.
Hey, man,
Hey,
you owe me money, man.
You know, I'm here for Jabba's money, man.
Jabba put a price on your head, man.
Man,
See,
hey, are you gonna shoot first, man?
if he was played by Sammy, Han Solo wouldn't have shot him. He would have kept him talking.
You know what franchise Sammy was a massive fan of? I swear to God, this is true. The Planet of the Apes, and he had one of the lawgiver statues, and he would keep it in his backyard by his swimming pool. Hey, if you want some hot dogs and hamburgers, they're grilling right next to the lawgiver. Feel
Hey,
free to
man.
have them.
Do you think he
That's
would have
true.
wanted to be in the Charlton Heston role?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I don't know, but he was like really good friends with Arthur Jacobs, who produced all the movies and the TV show.
It would have been cool if he was Dodge instead of different actor. He was a little guy too, wasn't he?
Oh
Like
yeah.
4'9", real skinny.
Oh, very tiny, very tiny.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
a little guy.
I don't know. I want Montalban to be Dodge. We had to convince Mitch. Mitch was like, I forget which. Oh, he was saying that that new movie Argyle, that I guess Bryce Dallas Howard, Opie's daughter, she has a nude chesticle scene where you see the headlights, but apparently it's not real. It's prosthetic. And he goes, yeah,
Are they stunt headlights?
there's stunt headlights, yes. And
Like Julia Roberts did that too.
or the woman that played Pamela Anderson with Bucky.
Lily
in the,
James.
Yeah, Lily James had fake Pamela Andersons. But he's like, yeah, like Montalban and Khan. I'm like, no, that was really Montalban,
Yeah.
man. Because he had some sort of weird muscle degenerative condition. But even before that, he was a real athlete. And God, he's in a great boxing movie called Right Cross. I mean, he could pull it off. And his doctor's like, to keep the disease at bay, keep weightlifting. So, and he even said, "Oh, I used to do 1,000 sit-ups a day, but then when I got Khan, I upped it to 2,000 sit-ups a day." And it's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, he had to do the bench press. And I heard that like Montel Williams, the talk show guy, he had
Yes.
that same thing.
Yes,
Something like they had the same. What I don't even know what it is.
yeah, some sort
But
of.
they have to
I mean,
work
it wasn't
out their chest and their arms all the time because
right. It wasn't multiple sclerosis or muscular dystrophy, but it was something along the lines of
Yeah,
that.
it was something like that. Yeah,
Lupus? Was it lupus? Seinfeld
my
reference.
sister Khan suffered from Hervey.
He
He
stuffed
stuffed
Hervé Villachez from the
Stuffed
island
Herb?
in his shirt. I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's.
He took
I'm
tattoos
down
and
here.
stuffed them in his shirt.
Stuffed them.
I'm holding your pectorals up, Buzz.
Can you
Bert-
stuff a Hervey?
Bernie cast me in a Amazing Mr. Limpet remake. I like that
Sure.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I'm a fish, Andy.
I'll volunteer to be Jack Weston. Henry, are you down there, Henry? We need you in the military.
There's a song where he sings about how he wishes he could be a fish.
Who's
That's
the
a great.
fish?
Don Knotts.
Don
That's a
Knotts.
great kids movie.
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Limpet.
Mr. Limpet.
Yeah.
That's
Mr.
super.
Limpet, also an unfortunate nickname for many people who suffer from erectile dysfunction. Hey, here
Go
comes
to
Mr. Limpet.
row.com. You can
Here
get
you
those pills through
Here
the
he
mail.
comes.
That's another commercial on the Buzzer
They
Network.
used to call me Mr. Limpet.
Penis Military suffers from Mr. Limpet disease.
Now they call me Walking Tall.
Yeah, how come we don't see the commercials anymore for Enzyte? Remember that was the one that was like the happy guy that now
Yeah.
he takes the pill. And he always had that ridiculous kind of fake plastic.
yeah.
organ.
I
They
think
got
because,
Nugenics with the big hurts that
yeah,
feel
I
like
think
it too.
Enzyte killed a whole bunch of people, so now, yeah, they weren't as
Oh my
happy.
God.
I don't know. I'm just
Well, he died, but look how stiff it is.
look how
That's
happy
great.
he was. Yeah.
Exactly. It took 3 days to wipe the smile off his face from the funeral parlor.
It's
Nice.
good.
Like it. You know who's been the best on this episode so far? Scoot. Scoot's been amazing today.
He's been
He
great.
said he'd be right back.
Best in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
says the same amount of stuff.
He
This is
does.
what
You
was here.
see the top of his head as he's drawing and shit. Yeah.
I gotta get closer every time because somebody's washing clothes now. So it's real loud down here.
Are you
Man,
kidding?
once
are you-
the heat goes on, it diminishes the sound, and now someone's washing clothes in a dryer. It's like,
Let me ask you a
loud.
question. You being in the basement, are you at sea level with the bottom of your
I'm
hole?
underground. Like
No,
the
but-
ground is like if I look out my window, the ground is by my eyes.
Yeah, but the hole outside in the back, are you level
it's
with
lower.
that? It's lower
It's
than you?
The hole's lower than my basement.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
You should dig a tunnel down there, see what's down there.
I gotta
Are
do
you getting-
something. I gotta look for squatch. But you know what
Or,
happens
yeah,
is like
duds. I think
when
there's
it,
some
um,
duds down there.
it floods down there, and guys always go out in with boats. They put a raft out there and start raft. There's guys out there who go out there.
Oh,
it's
where the
kinda
lack
fun.
of oxygen is in the
Like there's a bunch of guys
Yeah, it
passed out in the
floods so
boat.
much that guys go out with rubber rafts, and then snowmobiles go down there too in the winter.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's kind of
Scared.
fun. I'm not
Well,
going down there.
They
Never
never
going
While
come
down
back.
there.
While Rose is doing laundry, are you getting like a chlorine or a bleach high? Are you starting to like huffing? Are you getting a little spacey?
It does. The art
How can you
studio
tell?
does smell like that
Bleach?
little bear cuddles, whatever that's
Snuggle.
called.
Snuggle.
It smells like that now and then, which is pleasant, you know.
It's pleasant
Otherwise,
as you
it smells
as
like
you asphyxiate. It's pleasant going down
otherwise it smells like
and losing
Cheetos, you know?
consciousness.
That's why everybody's passing out in that hole because it's all the whole thing
All the
smells
fumes-
like.
all the fumes from Artie's laundry are wafting up through that hole,
Yeah,
making everybody pass out.
if everyone would turn their dryer vents into that hole, it could raise the air pocket, you know. You're nice and warm down there.
Man.
Nobody cares. We'll edit that out.
No, that's staying in, sir. Sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. It's going crazy.
I
Monday.
think it's Monday. I think.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I know. I know what it is.
Oh,
It
you
says
know,
on my
I gotta-
computer.
I got a cool word balloon I'm doing on Wednesday. this doctor who's a Marvel historian. We're talking about the artist from the 50s, from the Atlas years.
From the 50s.
Yeah, Joe Manili, who he did Kid Colt, and he did Army, like Korean War comics and stuff, all pre superhero stuff, but a lot of Marvel's 50s output. Fantagraphics has a book of his, a collection of his stuff, and I just kind of put the word out. I'm like, all right, who's like the best expert to get? And I forget his name, Doctor. I'll tell you in a second, Dr. Richard something. But I asked Fingeroff, Danny Fingeroff. Don't say it. And yeah, he's like, you should talk to this guy. I know. Don't.
There's
You like
another.
Danny's-
The finger off is really hands on, you know.
I know.
Oh boy.
I
Yeah,
met him
fine.
once, but I don't think he likes me.
Danny's a good guy. I'm sure he likes you.
Nah, he made fun of me the whole time.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he didn't let me talk. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we were on a panel,
That's not
but I'm
good.
sure he's a nice guy. I only met him
He
once.
is. He truly is. Where the hell is it?
I think I intimidated him. You know, my handsome looks, my talent, my charisma.
Sure.
The whole,
Dr. Michael.
He said sure.
Dr. Michael
And
Vasallo.
he flattened it. No.
Dr. Michael Vasallo is the guy who's going to be on Word Balloon talking about Joe Manili.
.com.
And he's an expert on Flat Stanley.
Yes.
All things
I'm going to ask him, did he advise Stanley not to air travel in his 90s for fear of pulverizing his bones?
Is that when they only had like the Human Torch and Submariner as superheroes?
It's right after that period when it was all monsters and war books and cowboys. It was after that. Because, I think Sid Shores did a lot of those early 50s Cap stories and Human Torch and Submariner.
Nice.
I think. This guy did not do superheroes.
Mm.
interesting. Back in the days when you can make money in comics.
Well, it was that right, kind of when there's that story, I don't know if it's true or not, where Martin Goodman like found a supply closet or whatever, and there were just tons of pages of unprinted stuff. And it's like, yeah, Stan, stop hiring freelance guys, just print this stuff. And that's how it was until Fantastic Four #1.
Fantastic #1. Wow.
Yeah.
Fan Four Stick. That's a good idea. Put that on a movie poster. Because the floor, it's clever.
Good stuff. Good
Crap.
Fan-
stuff. Mm.
I still think it's a good movie. Nobody gave it a shot.
Only Artie.
Movie, but not a Fantastic Four movie. It's not
Yeah,
a good
it's not
No.
a
Fantastic Four movie,
Fantastic
but
movie,
It's,
that's why.
you have to suspend your disbelief.
Good
What does
phrase.
that
Right?
mean? Suspend your disbelief.
well,
I'll
you're
break
you're
it
believing.
down.
You're like, I can't believe this crap. You have to suspend that.
You have
Right.
to demote it or something.
Right. You can't give in to the knowledge you have of the Fantastic Four. So that's why you don't believe it. And it's like, no, you have to take it on its, and here's another good phrase, on its own merit.
On its
Yeah.
own merit. Yeah.
You have
Same
to take
thing.
that disbelief and hang it in the air above
Suspend
you.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Or you have to watch it down in your ditch
hole.
behind your house and when you don't have air. And you're like,
Okay.
wow, it's a great movie. I really like this.
Yeah.
From
could
now
it
on, that's
also
just
be-
going to be called. That's going to be called the Artie hole.
Yeah, the already hole. It's like there.
It's like you got a black hole
suspend
back
your disbelief out there. But what
Sure.
can you replace any of those words with a synonym of those words? Like hoist, suspend, like hoist your unfaithfulness. Would that be something?
It's kind of awkward, but sure. Let's say yeah.
Unfaithfulness, yeah, unfaithfulness wouldn't work.
It would, like, faith and belief is kind of the same. Faith.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hoist my unfaithfulness for the next movie I'm gonna see. When I go see the Madam Web movie, I'm gonna hoist my unfaithfulness walking in. Hoist
I
it.
think you're allowed to do that in a public place and hoist your unfaithfulness.
And I'm gonna take no, I'm not gonna finish that joke.
That belongs in the Artie hole. Those,
It's like, hey man,
Once again, penis military, everybody.
If I may return to Art, one of your stories from earlier, you
Oh,
mentioned
I
that
thought
when
you
you
were
would
going to return to penis military. Go ahead.
well, when you would sled, when you would sled down the stairs in front of the
Yeah.
house, you said the tenants didn't like that. You mean
Yeah,
the
I was
people
wondering.
who live, the people who live there, or
Talking
Yeah.
about
ground?
testicles.
Yeah.
Or your own person downstairs.
It actually had double meaning. So yes and yes.
Rough on
We
the
had
tenants
people
and rough
living
on the
there,
tenants.
Thank you.
and
No
other
further
hookers. So
questions.
that's why I can't sled out here because every time I did it, it aggravates my broken tailbone, and I'm done for like 3 days. So I gotta lay down and take hot baths and stuff. And
Seriously,
You know-
having conversations with Artie is why I'm sure sooner than later I'm going to sleep, creep into senility. And it's like, how does your brain work? Well,
it does
I
works very well. Thank you.
hoist my, I don't even remember the half of
Your,
Unfaithfulness.
your
Yeah.
unfaithfulness.
I hoist my unfaithfulness. Yeah, Mr. Sutton, we're going to give you some medication. Why don't you light out?
I just
Party
like
wants-
anytime I can say hoist. That's a good word.
Barty wants to know if anyone can visit the Artie hole.
This is the Artie hole. You could. Yeah, it's easy to get to.
Well, use of the word hoist is hoisted by your own petard.
My Patari? What's
Petard. Hoisted by your own petard.
What's a
Petard?
synonym? What's a synonym for petard?
I don't know what petard. Isn't that the guy from Star Trek?
Yes.
Petard. I never heard of petard. Sounds like a dish that you would have with coffee. I made some crumpets and some petards. I don't know
Hoisted
what that
with
is.
your own petard is a phrase from a speech in William Shakespeare's play Hamlet that has been proverbial. The phrase means a bomb maker is blown off the ground by his own bomb. So there you
That's-
go. It's the irony. Yeah, the irony of if you made a bomb but you blew up from your own bomb, that's
So
being
that-
hoisted by your
So
own petard.
technically, Johnny, that you've been hoisted by your own petard.
I
Many-
think
Didn't you blow out a bomb at C2E2 and it hoisted you?
a gas
Yeah,
pellet.
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, when we were in the hotel hallway, and it's the only time, if I haven't done it on the show, it's the only time I've ever farted that one fart had 2 octaves in the same fart. And literally, let me recreate it for you. This is what it sounded like. Went up. It started
Just,
low, and then it went up.
I never
we
saw
lost-
anyone lose
we lost
15 pounds in 1 second. That was kind of
It took me off my feet for a quick second. I was
Yeah.
floating.
So you
I'm
were
not-
now by definition you were
was
hoisted by your
hoisted.
own petard.
I was hoisted by my own fart. Yes.
I think that word petard with Shakespeare has been the only time in history where that word was used,
People use
besides today.
People would probably use it back in the vernacular of the day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I was hoisted by my own petard. Oh, the irony.
Yeah, it evolved into other words you can't
They would
say
they
anymore.
would say things like "I shan't do that again" or something. They would
Well,
talk.
shant is kind of what Johnny did. He chanted.
I did that. I didn't shat, but I did.
that character you created is still looming in the halls over there. He might be stuck because weren't they painting the wall? He might have got stuck.
Yeah, the Hyatts tried to clean that hallway for years. Still stinks, sir. Still.
It's like a ghost that still haunts that hallway.
It'll be public domain in like 92 more years.
Was it as bad as Jimmy's sulfur biscuit or worse?
I don't think it smelled on it. I could be
I
wrong.
didn't smell it. I
just heard
remember the sulfur biscuit. That was
It
that
didn't
was an
smell.
evacuation.
Oh, that was disgusting,
event.
and I felt so bad because Jimmy really was hurt. But it really was like can't breathe.
like
Kind of like Artie's like black hole down in his ditch or whatever.
the sulfur biscuit was so bad it changed the color on the TV. We're watching it like everything got gray.
Our eyes were burning. That's true.
It seeped into the hallway.
But
People in
Johnny's
the next room left too.
petard didn't have a smell.
Thank you.
There was no. It was just
That's always been a great compliment that Artie paid me. He's like, for a big guy, you don't stink, sir. And I'm like, thank you. I try not.
I like
tried
to
very
when
hard.
I didn't like. I asked you if your hands were moist, and
Well,
you said, "No, sir, they're dry." And I touched both your. I'm like, "Oh, nice, Johnny." I was impressed that you had dry hands.
God, seriously, Since when we had that really sub-zero weather and it still kind of lingers, I am so like ready for old age because I have the worst arthritis in my hands. They are just constantly hurting, constantly.
Oh, there's a lot of pain.
I'm just flabbergasted at the amount of body knowledge that Artie knows about Johnny. He knows about his barcode.
Wow, it's all by circumstance. He's just
not
next to me a
sweaty
lot.
hands.
Artie's
By
like,
observation.
yeah.
And touch. You touch his hands.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to know because he's right. A lot of big guys are a little moist.
Yeah.
And no, I'm dry as a bone, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Dry, dry like a well-talked baby's bottom.
I think I just asked you, hey, are your hands wet? I don't know how, but I remember touching your hands and I was impressed. Yeah.
I like that people might have to broach that subject carefully, but Artie's like, hey, are your hands wet? Like he just comes right out and says it. You know?
Yeah.
There was a host on the Score, Tommy Williams, big giant guy, and he had clammy lizard hands. And we always used to say, "Hey, shake hands with Tommy," and it was true. It was like a whoopee cushion in his hand. They were always like very, very wet, very, very sweaty.
Yeah, and if they're not wet, they're clammy. They're sticky.
Yep.
You know, you were impressed me though. You held out your hands. Like, oh, those are nice.
I may be built like a mailbox, and I may fart in 2 octaves, but my hands are as dry as a well-talcumed baby's butt.
What would you name that thing? Sherman, maybe?
The fart?
Petard. It has to be named Petard.
Yeah, it's got to be
Captain
Petard because it was hoisted by it.
Hoisted. Captain Petard is waiting for
Captain
us.
Petard. Yes. Hello, number 1. And back. I got to rip one.
He's looming the hallway every time that sliding door opens.
I swear.
Garage. And he goes, oh.
Everybody watching,
The guy's
you got to see this Paramount Super Bowl ad because it is like classically Patrick Stewart making fun of himself. And it's so many great lines in it. He shuts down Drew Barrymore. And he's like, climb up, Barrymore.
Doesn't he say, shut up, Barrymore, or something like
Is he
that?
stifle her?
Something like that. But yeah, and then Creed goes up. And there's Creed.
Hand on the mouth kind? Like that?
It's very funny.
No, not.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah, not that style.
No, definitely not.
I almost said it. Sorry.
He doesn't raise his hand to her. No.
Anything like this happen?
Yeah, no Mo Howard moves. No, or no Ralph Cranman moves.
Captain Petard. That brings a whole new meaning to number 1.
Well, it's Captain Petard of the Fart Ship Enterprise or whatever.
Well, he's closer to number 2 than number
2,
1, really.
Right? Yeah, the number 1.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I suppose for that he would be number 2.
He might have residuals on him.
Let's run this by Jonathan Frakes when we see him next year at a convention. And we lose it. And we lose all friendliness that we've had with him for the last year.
We should all go and shake his hand with sticky palms. I know, sir. And then he'll be like, oh.
We could Purell up right before we shake hands with them and stuff, so they're nice and greasy.
Yeah. Maybe eat Doritos before we see him. That'd be good.
Hey, isn't in 2024 isn't the next Ghostbusters movie coming out this year?
New
Ghostbusters, yeah. The Ice Storm, Ice Baby, or whatever.
That's gonna fail.
No, the new one has all the old guys in it.
We'll see.
There's another prediction there.
Yeah, I think it's gonna fail.
What's the I forgot the character's name.
Frozen Empire is the name of the.
Yeah, the one guy Newman. I forget his name. He takes
Wayne
over
Knight?
it
From Seinfeld. From Seinfeld.
No, on the Ghostbusters.
Paul
The
Rudd.
guy who says, "Is there money involved? I believe in anything." See, he's suspending his disbelief.
He's
But
wasting his own
it looks
petard.
like he's taken over as the new leader of the kids. That's what it looks like.
I think you mean Winston. You mean Winston,
Him
right?
and Phoebe's husband. I forgot that guy's name. Ant-Man.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I remember people's names.
I like
Man.
Paul Rudd.
Newman.
What's his name?
Which one's
I know
Newman?
Jimmy Jawa represents him.
Newman.
I want to try to explain it without doing the obviously explain.
Ernie Hudson.
The fourth
you're talking about?
Ghostbuster.
I
Ernie
think
Hudson.
you're thinking about Winston. That's the one you're calling Newman. Is that right?
Is that Ernie Hudson?
Winston, yeah, Winston.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, yeah.
Yeah.
I was calling him Newman.
Newman.
knew he had
I
a
think Arnie's on a
interesting name.
delay because we've said it like 5 times.
So the air kicked on again. I gotta get real close. I can't hear it.
Oh, that's right. New Planet of the Apes coming up this year.
Oh, that's right. You know, that trailer came out and nobody cared. Nobody talked about it. It didn't hit. Like, I loved it. I watched it multiple times, but I'm surprised the internet is not talking about it. They'd rather talk about Madam Web.
Well, they're
You know?
they're slowly learning that a lot of these perennial intellectual properties, franchise things, that the younger generation doesn't give a shit about.
Yeah, right. Because
You know?
everyone who watched it were all like 50 and 60.
Right. Well, that's a movie that came up in discussion. I think we talked about it, Franco, on the last time you, Wayne, and Mitch were talking. They're making Paul. Oh, God damn it!
Paul
The
Newman?
director. No, the director that made the Bourne Identity movies. He just made a new Roadhouse. They rebooted Roadhouse
Oh, yeah,
Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal.
with Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal.
yeah.
And my buddy Rob Burnett, who's a good YouTuber, and I usually agree with a lot of what he says. He's like, "Oh, the director was mad because he was promised it was going to get theatrical release, and it's going to go straight to Netflix." And
Oh, yeah.
Rob is like, "Well, generations have watched that movie, fathers and sons," and I'm like, "Yeah, but only the original generation that saw the movie saw it in the theater. Everybody else saw it on TV." And I don't think a movie about bar fights is like a great idea for a big major motion picture anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
Thoughts?
never going to watch it.
There you go. There you go.
I think that
You know, and
Roadhouse
My-
was just such a narrowly defined, like it was basically a western, a modern day western,
Sure.
in bars and stuff like that. But it was just so narrowly defined, and I think it was an awful movie, but it was so good because it was awful.
Right. Silly
And
fun.
it was,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was good because Patrick Swayze made it good. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't see him in this kind of role, and
I agree. Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Gosling could do it. I don't know. But yeah,
they
it's
should
like
just make something new.
it's well, some movies are just vehicles for the star.
Right.
That's what they call them. They call them vehicles and stuff. And it's like when they remade Flight of the Phoenix with Dennis Quaid, and it was originally a Jimmy Stewart movie, and it's like, no, that's like a Jimmy. No, yeah, we got to put the plane together because we're stuck in the desert.
Oh,
And
I
then
did see it. Yeah.
And then they made it with
I saw
I
the
want to say
trailer.
I want to say Tyrese Gibson and Dennis Quaid were in the new one, and they made it this like stupid action movie, and it's like, no, man, it was fat little Richard Attenborough and scrawny Jimmy Stewart. Like, yeah, we're dying in the desert. We gotta do this,
Those pedals. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
My dad told me that when he was in the army in Vietnam, and they showed the Planet of the Apes movie to all the troops, but they had it on reels. There was 2
Sure.
reels,
Sure.
and they played the second reel first.
Yeah.
He said everybody's real confused.
Hey,
And he
hey.
said they didn't know what was happening. And then they showed the first one, and the moment they put the first one, everyone went, "Oh!"
Wow.
So he's always, anytime we watch that, he always tells me that. So that was 1967 when he's
Yes.
watched it.
Yep.
Why
that
did
was
your
pretty
dad
funny.
ruin all the big tentpole movies for you? Because it was did he ruin Superman for you? Hey, that's Glenn Ford.
Yeah, that's Glenn Ford. Yeah.
I thought of Art Senior because my buddy Mike North does a YouTube show, and it's an honest YouTube show called Somebody Big Just Died. And he'll do celebrity deaths, and he'll do a little biography and stuff. They're usually like 15 minutes long. And last year he did Suzanne Summers, and he goes, a lot of people were watching Three's Company for Joyce DeWitt, not just Suzanne Summers. So I had to tell him Art Senior's story about how he what did he call Three's Company, Artie?
The Janet Show.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah. And we watched that because I didn't realize till later, but my mom would waitress on Tuesday nights. She would waitress, and then we'd watch that, and then Charlie's Angels too. All that stuff was on. Daisy Duke. They were all
Sure.
on, and I realized those were all the nights my mom would work. He'd watch all those shows.
Nice.
Yeah,
And,
Don-
Policewoman, she was on all the time too.
Oh, sure.
Angie
Angie
Dickinson,
Dickinson.
Big Bad
Yeah.
Mama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald
Is
said
that-
$6 billion man with Mark Wahlberg. I don't
Is
know if
that
that's
still
still
happening?
happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's still happening.
I don't know if that's still happening.
Well, you know what I saw, and I've mentioned it on our show with Wayne and Mitch and Franco. Masters of the Universe, the new He-Man cartoon on Netflix. Very good.
Is it?
It's the second season from the first. It's Kevin Smith again, but they
He-Man.
kind of He-Man, He-Man, and hey, I'm going to Grayskull. Hey, He-Man.
He-Man.
I like that
He
our
should-
fan casting is Sammy Davis Jr. in every role.
It's pretty much everything. What
He
was
would be.
what's
He
the
would
name
be
of the
a
little?
good Skeletor.
Hey,
Yeah,
Prince
what's the-
Adam?
What's the name of the little? No, the little wizard. thing.
Toto.
Orca.
Orko. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm Orko.
Yeah.
Adam and I are going around. We're gonna be bugging Skeletor
No,
later.
I want to see him as He-Man. Hey, I'm Prince Adam.
I want to see him
the
as
power of
Skeletor. Do you
Grayskull,
hear?
man.
Curse you,
Yeah, but-
He-Man.
Yeah, but
Merman.
then he's gotta,
Beastman.
like, just like Shazam, he's got to change into like Michael Clark Duncan, some big giant man. You know,
Michael Clark Duncan.
dead.
Yeah. I
Dead.
like that guy.
He's
Yeah,
dead, you know.
Apparently, not a nice guy. Like
Really?
really, fame. Yeah, fame went to his head and was like very.
Sammy
Yeah.
Davis or someone else?
He
Michael
was married to a Armorosa.
Michael Clark Duncan was married to Omarosa. I didn't know.
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow.
really? Good for
I
him.
didn't
Yeah.
know that.
What happened to her? She's gone now.
Yeah.
She destroyed
Yeah.
everything in her path, and
I
there's
think
nothing left.
recently I didn't watch it, but I saw ads for some show on MTV or something like that where they took all the bad guys from all the reality shows, like Omarosa from that show and like the guys from different shows, the
Yeah.
bad guys and put them all in one show, and said
Was it
it's
Big
about-
Brother?
It wasn't Big Brother. It was something else called, the biggest villain or something like that. I don't know what it was called. You can't.
Did she win?
I don't know. I don't know.
I liked Chucky was a big fan of this show that was Big Brother in space, where it was in the desert and it was like a simulation of Mars. And
Oh,
a
wasn't
Mars.
it William Shatner the host or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was very bummed. I watched the first episode, and I would have stayed with it. The little girl that has the incredible body that was on Modern Family with the glasses, she was one of the people. And they had Lance Armstrong on the show. And she's like, "Oh my God, he was on
Was
the
she a
moon."
child?
No, she's an adult.
The little girl?
She
Well,
was,
she
she was a
started
little
off
girl on the
as a
show.
little
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago. The show was on for like 10 years or whatever.
The
So
one
by
with
the
the robot girl?
yeah. She's
No, one of the daughters
daughter.
of
one of the daughters.
the blonde and Ty
The other
Burrell.
one. Yeah. That's who it was. It was
Ariel Winters. Ariel
Ariel,
Winters.
Ariel Winter.
Yeah.
And so Lance Armstrong was on the show, and she's like,
He's only
"Wow."
got one testicle.
Well, she's like, "No." She's like, "Wow, he was on the moon," thinking it was Neil Armstrong and not Lance Armstrong. Exactly.
He's so
And
young. Yeah.
only in the first episode, he got booted off. In the first episode, McLovin from Superbad was in it.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, I'll watch this if Dan McLovin is on this show, and he got booted off the first episode. I'm like, all right, I don't want to watch it. But it was, I have to say, from a space simulation standpoint, it was interesting. They created like sandstorms, and their objective was they had to repost the communications antenna and do it within a certain amount of time. And they were in spacesuits and everything doing it. It was interesting, but a lot of the celebrities were knuckleheads. So I didn't want to watch the rest of it.
I'm never gonna watch that, Johnny.
I'm never going to watch.
You know what? If Omarosa Omarosa's not doing anything, I like to invite her to play outside in the arty hole for a little while. Might be good. Maybe in the summertime when it fills up, we could go rafting. Could write her poetry in a boat.
You just wanted to pass out or something. Yeah. That's awful. We'll edit that out. We'll edit.
Yeah,
that.
We'll edit that out. That wasn't funny.
Oh, man.
Can we wrap?
I think
That's a
so.
good
I
place to
think,
wrap.
I think that
I'll take one more thing.
we hit that
Yeah.
hit that wall pretty hard right there. So
One more thing.
Scope got something.
I was thinking about McLovin. I auditioned one time There was
You were
the,
thinking
they were
about it, were you?
yeah, I auditioned for a pilot where if I would have gotten the part, it would have been me and McLovin on this TV show. We were roommates or something. I don't know what the show was about.
cool.
I don't think they ever made the pilot, but a road not taken.
I auditioned for to be an extra in the Man of Steel movie back
Did
2
you?
years ago. Yeah.
That was around here somewhere, right? Like
Yeah, it was,
Plainfield or
yeah, one of the suburbs, and the line was all there was thousands of people, and the line was all the way through the parking lot, real long. But I got through it. I dressed like a reporter. I wanted to work at the Daily Planet, wore a tie and a suit and a hat and stuff. But it was real fast. They made you hold a sign and took a picture, and next, that was it. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't get picked.
Oh man, jeez Louise.
Man, I should have worn a Superman suit, and then they would have seen. Hey man,
Hey
you
man,
look good in that suit, man.
I could be in your movie, man.
I'd like to play Clark Kent, man.
I like
Lois,
it.
I have to duck away. I can't explain why.
I could
like
be
to play
Clark
Kevin
Kent or
Costner.
Lois, man. Either one.
I should have walked in and just went like this.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Jonathan!
Jonathan.
Oh man. All right.
Oh,
Well,
his powers.
follow us when you see us.
Yes.
Go to blindwolfstudios.com and get your new copy of Fox and Evil.
Oh
or
yeah.
your new copy of Super Fun Altogether. Both out
I
right
need
now.
one of those Fox and Evils.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Awesome.
If you live.
Skoke, I cut you off. Skoke, say it.
Oh, I was just going to say, on March 9th, if you're in the Toledo area, this just in, Scoot will be at Rossford High School. I don't know if he's going to be signing books or talking about them, but you have a chance to see him live. That's all I got.
You can walk up to him and give him something to sign, and as you sign it, just say, "I'll be right back," and then they'll come back.
Yeah, he'll be in a principal's office.
Yeah, he also sells Jamie Farr arm hair on the side.
I predict that Jamie Farr will not do a cameo video for me this year.
I want Jamie Farr to last at least another year. We don't want to see Jamie Farr go away.
That's right.
Yeah, him and Anne Hathaway.
Say it,
They're
Artie.
going to make a movie together.
Do it, Artie.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Yeah. Hey, man. Follow me and see us. You guys are awesome. Okay, bye-bye.